Injury update right now, Aaron Patrick, he has a torn ACL. He'll be out for the season. We have Isang, he's got a hamstring, so he'll be out, miss some time. And then Russell, he has a hamstring. He'll be day-to-day. We'll go ahead and take a look at that and monitor him.
And then Justin Simmons last night, you said everything starts with leadership. How confident are you on the guys in this team, your various captains, that from a leadership perspective, they can help turn this thing around?
Very confident. I mean, I think we've got some great men on this team, and we need to all come together, look at ourselves in the mirror first, and then be able to hold everybody accountable for all the things that are good and bad.
And a two-part, what is the plan with Russell? Will he work during the week? Will he be held back early on a short week? And then secondly, do you at all look back at the preseason training camp and think maybe some of the problems now with penalties or the offensive struggles had to do with kind of going easy on the guys during that time?
With Russell, that's going to be day-to-day, so we'll get a feel for him throughout today and into tomorrow. When it comes to the preseason, I don't think that. I really don't. I think that a lot of the injuries that we're having are kind of crazy from the standpoint of the amount of ACLs and so forth. I think that from the standpoint of the offense getting in rhythm, I think we had a lot of great practices, guys being able to do and execute a lot of different stuff. For whatever reason, there's certain things that we're missing, whether they're pressing or wanting it to be better, and that consistency is not there and it needs to be there.
Now, you said after the game that Melvin Gordon wasn't injured to your knowledge. What was the reason that he kind of didn't play there after the first quarter last night?
So the first quarter, he was in on the second quarter. In the third quarter, we didn't have a lot of football plays. We were going 3 and out. Our plan was to get into manageable third down situations to be able to move the ball, control the clock. We did, and we just didn't convert on third down. When you're 29% on third down, that's a hard recipe for success. When it comes to the running back play, we need to look at that and sit there and say, if somebody's doing a really good job, and I think Latavius was doing a fine job, he had the opportunity to go another series. And then we just didn't have a lot of plays. So we want all those guys. We need all those guys, and we got to be sure they're all on the field.
Coach, you had talked about how there was going to be growing pains, new coach, new quarterback, introducing this to new players. But how would you articulate to Broncos country on why the offense is this bad, where you're last in points, you've struggled on first down, as you mentioned, on third down? How would you articulate to what's become a vitriol of Broncos country?
Lack of consistency right now. I think it's just you see some good things. I thought that first half there was a lot of good. We were in some backed up situations, some get back on track situations, which is those long deals with some of those penalties that we had early, and we battled back from those. We got a field goal on the first drive. Then we came back and had a bunch of explosive plays and were able to score. The key for us is, and then coming back with the 2-minute drive to be able to get 3 points and have an opportunity to score there. We just have to be consistent. You come out the second half and get yourself in a couple manageable third downs and don't convert on those, and that's frustrating. It's frustrating for all of us. We need better plays from the coaches. We need better execution. I mean, it's all of us as a team because we can't leave the defense out there as long as we did. And it's, again, about consistency, and it goes from everybody from every position on the offense.
Coach, 2 things. One, do you feel comfortable if Russ can't go, as competitive as he is, as much as he wants to prove himself and win, buddy, you can't go. Dude, you've got to rest this if you're not right, 1. And 2, does it worry you when you see teammates being as angry as some of the cameras captured Jerry Jeudy and Melvin Gordon being a little upset about something, whatever that may have been for context, but everyone saw it on national TV and became a story?
With Russell, he's an ultimate competitor. He's going to do everything in his power to get out on that field. We have to make sure that he's healthy enough to be able to go out and play at a high level. If whoever's got to go in, if it's Rip, Josh, anybody, feel confident we'll try to build a plan for them that makes them successful. When it comes to the players, yeah, they're frustrated. The coaches are frustrated. We're all frustrated. We want more consistency. The thing I give so much credit for this team is they are battling. We're in all these games. I mean, 2 overtime games versus, I think Indianapolis won again this week, and then versus a good team in the Los Angeles Chargers. So they are battling, and they're doing everything they can. And with our guys being frustrated, that's what you want. You want them to be frustrated to a certain extent because they want to win. They want to win. They want to be part of it. They want to be able to make plays for their teammates. So that happens. That happens when you don't win a football game. They want to do whatever they can to be able to help win.
Nathaniel, on some of the sacks in the second half and in overtime, What, from your film study, what did you see that kind of went askew, and how does it get remedied?
It was a combination of a couple things. We need to be sure that we're urgent out of the huddle so we can get up and make certain protection adjustments so that we can pick some of those things up. And then, again, it's more of that just overall consistency of guys getting open, being able to protect it, Russell being able to see it. There's so many things that go on within a football game. They were throwing a lot of interesting, unique things at us, and we have to be able to believe in the system and know those things will come to us. So we just have to believe in that.
How much, if at all, did Russell's hamstring factor into the play calling late in the game?
To a certain extent, whenever you have anybody that's a little banged up, you're always trying to make sure that you are adjusting to everyone, from any player that might be in or out or affected. So there was a little bit there. We wanted to be sure we put him in a good position to be able to execute.
I think your longest carry from a running back so far this year is 18 yards. How much of that is on the backs, and how much of that is about when you get a guy to a second level, sort of springing him for even more than that?
For us, it takes all 11. That's one thing that we preach in the run game. It's with the offensive line for the first level, the running backs being able to set up the blocks, being able to get up to that second level, and then the explosive plays come from the wide receivers as they block downfield. So whenever we're doing anything in the run game, we always preach that it's all about all 11 on the field. Whether it's the quarterback booting out, trying to hold somebody out on the backside, anything and everything, we all have to be linked as one.
Thank you, Ray. Just back to Russell just for a second, then I have another one. Did he get an MRI today, or to that point on the injury?
Yes, he did.
Okay, and then can you expand on what it showed?
We're still looking at it. We're evaluating it and getting a feel for it.
And then in the overtime, I think he had 10 men on the field on one punt return, and then Montreal muffed the next one. Is there just something going on with the substitutions, or just getting ready in those moments?
Yeah, our operation has been pretty decent these past couple games. I think when we lost Esang, Aaron Patrick, a couple guys went down. That's always a special teams coach's nightmare because you're trying to find the backups, position people around. So there was some communication that we need to tighten up and get better when those things happen. But that was the case of that.
Nate, I believe Melvin said after the game that he was hoping to have a conversation about why he wasn't in the game there after the first quarter. Have you had that conversation with Melvin? If so, what was that like, and what do you see his role with this team moving forward?
We're going to have a conversation. We have a very good relationship and want to be sure that we're crystal clear on everything and that he knows where I stand. I've always liked those awkward conversations and always want to be upfront and honest with everybody. Melvin didn't do anything wrong. He didn't. We just didn't have a lot of plays, and in the end, he didn't get the reps that he wanted. And he's a competitor. He wants to be out there helping with his team. And we'll sit down and we'll have a conversation.
The Aaron Patrick injury, Coach, any concerns there? His agent was disturbed by, the events that led to it.
I didn't even know that it had happened. It happened late in the game, and then was obviously informed afterwards. And that's for the league to debate and talk about after seeing kind of what happened from that standpoint on out of bounds. So obviously, player safety is the most important thing for all of us, and I know the league will look into it.
Coach, could you ever imagine the difficulty getting this system under control 6 weeks after you implemented it? And is this a question of just working harder or working smarter to get around the corner?
I think it's both. I mean, you always want to work harder as a coach, as players. You're always trying to do more. That's just kind of our nature. We are always trying to be as efficient as possible, wanting to put the guys in the best spot they can be into to make a play. So we'll continually do that. And we always, like I said, we want to be smart. We want to be efficient. We want to make sure we're doing the right things. And, whenever you take over a new offense, there's always growing pains. There's always things, and we've talked about that. There's always things that from the rhythm, getting guys in a rhythm, and thought we were really in the right direction there in the first half. But when all of a sudden you get stalled a couple times, those are the things that the guys have to learn to battle through. Again, I appreciate the team and how they battled and kept us in all these games. I think it's been great to see those guys continually fight, both offense and defense. It's not the result that we want, and we need to move forward in winning these close games.
Coach, you have the second most penalty yards in team history. How tough is that to win when you have that obstacle in front of you? And how do you, as a coach and players and the coaching staff, correct
We continually harp on all those things that we're doing wrong, whether it be a holding call early in the game or a false start. The DPIs, yeah, I mean, those things happen. I love the look in Damari's eyes. He's a competitor, and he went up there and he went after it. We obviously can't have that. We got to play the ball, and we'll talk with him about that and try to clean that up. But it's hard to win when you have 10 penalties for 150 yards. That's just difficult, and they're competitive guys. They want to do everything they can to win, but we have to continually talk about it and show them and make sure they understand they can't do that stuff.
Coach, from that defensive standpoint, they were on the field 93 snaps, but held just 19 points. When you go back and look at it, how impressed were you by their performance, and does that give you faith that when the offense does turn things around, that you guys can get things going quickly?
Without a doubt, the defense is playing at such a high level, and they are battling nonstop. I mean, now Singleton steps in again, has so many tackles. The defensive line penetrating, rushing the quarterback, going against a really good offense, and just watching them continually play. I mean, it's a great defense. I give them so much credit, and it's on the rest of the team to be able to step up to their level and have that same standard that they have and be able to make plays. But without a doubt, we have that faith that we're going to continually get better, continually put the guys in the right spots so we could take advantage of this great defense. Thank you.